T&E Magazine presents Side Reels with Sam B, produced by the Music Messenger Productions. Our show features celebrities and entertainers. We bring you actors, directors, musicians, and all things entertainment, keeping you informed on new and upcoming projects in the industry, led by affluent minorities. Please visit tnemagazine.com to subscribe. Enter promo code SAMB to receive 30% off your subscription. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to Side Reels with Sam B. This show is all about meeting celebrities and entertainers from television actors all the way to musicians and everything in between. Our guest today is Robert Milar, an up-and-comer actor who has a few projects coming out in 2018. So let's go ahead and meet up with Robert and see what's going on. All right, Robert, so it's so good to have you here with us today. So we have Robert Milar with us, and I just want to ask you a few questions about how you got into the industry and how you enjoyed so far. I know that when you first started acting, it was when you were 7 years old, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I started acting on plays on my school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, since that moment I love it.
It's what made you want to get into acting even so young?
I don't know, this is like a feeling you have, like you need to do, and you just do it. I remember watching series on the TV when I was like 5 or 6 years old and asking my mom, Mom, how can I be there? I want to be there. And I remember she laughed and she was like, oh, honey, that's impossible. But yeah, at the end, I just couldn't handle the negative answer of my mom, so I just go for it and I ignore what she was saying and I try it and I start with 7 on plays.
Yeah. Was it difficult to be in plays that early, or did you just find it rewarding regardless?
I found so much fun on the play, so for me it was like other kids were playing football, were like, you know, like fighting, boxing. I was enjoying the plays. I was so much happy there, and I enjoy my time there, and I enjoy how the people feel about my performance in those plays.
Okay. And I know that, we'll fast forward just a little bit, you moved to LA all the way in 2015, so just a few years ago.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So what inspired you to move to LA as opposed to somewhere like New York to start your career?
Well, there is one clue that made me take this decision, and it's a sad one. My father passed away, and I got the I don't know how it's in English, like irritated.
Irritated?
Yeah, irritated.
Okay.
And so I got the opportunity to move to Hollywood, where all my fairs were like, all my mom's fairs. I got the opportunity to make my mom see what I'm able to do. So I decide I'm gonna do it, and if I cannot get it, okay, but I will have tried it, and I can, if someone asks me in the future, did you try it, I can say, yeah, I tried hard all my life.
I think that's amazing. Like, I mean, most people would find it pretty difficult to move away from everything they know just to try something so different as acting, so that's really great.
Yeah, and I'm very insecure as a person, so I think everybody is very capable of making decisions as long as their dreams are very, very heavy, like mine. So you just need to focus on your objective and go for it, and that's why I'm here. I left behind all my fears and I just moved forward, and now I'm here and I can be proud of myself.
Well, I heard that, so 2015 is when you moved to LA to follow your dreams, but I heard that you were actually discovered just actually last year in 2017 when you were doing a play called Out of the Shadows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into that kind of medium?
Actually, that was my first one. And I was playing a vampire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a vampire with an accent, which was funny. So But I really enjoyed that play. I met a lot of people from there, a lot of actors and actresses that are my friends today. From there, I got my agent as well.
Yeah.
I start like doing different things, and I'm being part of different movies. I start with short movies, then I move to feature films, and I'm at the point of my career where I'm starting doing my own projects. So yeah, that play was the beginning of everything for me here in LA.
That's fantastic. I mean, let's talk about you moving forward then, because you did talk about that's the beginning. So let's talk about the things that are coming forward for you. I know that you've been in a lot of different small things and bigger projects coming forward. So I know you've done some web series as well as some big shows. Like I know you were recently in American Crime Story, the Assassination of Gianni Versace, right?
Versace.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, so they cast me because of my accent. My accent is kind of the Penelope Cruz accent, so that was a good opportunity for me. And I was very. Oh, there is one more thing I want to say. When I first came to United States, I was very frustrated about my accent, and then at the end, after a year or 2 years, I realized like that's a good thing here. Like they like different actors, and I think I'm different because of my accent. Nobody can tell where I'm from when they look at me because I don't look Latin.
Yeah.
But when they start listening to my accent, they are like, wait a minute, what's happening here? So I think that's a good thing. And yeah, but they cast me on American Crime Story. I don't have a big role, but I have a couple of lines, which I really like it.
Right.
And I love to be part of a project that Penelope Cruz is part of.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. And I think you really nailed it. I think the differentiation, I mean, obviously with your accent, that makes you different in a different way, but I think it definitely helps bring representation for maybe people that usually aren't seen. So I think that's a wonderful thing. Let's talk about some of the other projects that are coming forward. You have a couple of films coming out, right?
Yeah.
You have one, I believe, called Bird in a Cage. Can you tell us a little bit more about that film and your role?
Bird in a Cage was a very challenging film because my role is a psychopath, and I needed to do so much research to understand what his feelings were, and at first I didn't understand him, so I was, why he's acting like that? But then I did research and I started talking with people that suffers from depression, from bipolar, they're bipolar, schizophrenic. I have friends like that. It's sad to say, but I have. And I was talking with them about their childhood, and I started understanding their point of view about life and all that, and I was able to understand my character better. And at the end not at the end, but in the second scene, I started loving my character, like falling in love with him. Like all he was through, he has been through, makes sense about why he's acting like he's acting. And people maybe hate my character, but I need to love my character because otherwise I wouldn't be able to act, to perform like I wanted to do it. So yeah, at the end I end up loving my character, even though he's a psychopath.
Without giving away too much about the story itself, like can you tell us just a little bit more about the story for Bird in a Cage?
So this guy is actually is coming from Russia. He's invited into a dinner where his currently girlfriend is there. And when he arrived, he saw his ex-girlfriend there in the dinner, who is dating the roommate of his currently girlfriend, who is another girl. So his girlfriend now is homosexual, and he just couldn't handle it, like, to see that in the dinner. So what happened is he left everything behind for her, for his ex-girlfriend, and then she left him without with no money, with no friends, no family, in a different country, and he got the opportunity to confront her in that dinner. So what happened in that dinner is very heavy, because at first he started like using the sarcasm, and at the end all of them end up like crying, trying to hit each other, and it's a very intensive movie.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of the trailer for the film, and
Yeah.
it looks pretty intense.
And yeah, it is everything about a game, and the game is like, it's this game where you drink if you have never done something, and everything starts from there. So here starts like teaching with the questions.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it looks pretty intense. They're very intimate because it's just 4 people, so it looks great.
Yeah.
What about the other 2 projects that are coming out? I believe City of Angels is one of them.
Yeah.
And then the other project you have coming out is Psychedelic Psychopaths. Is that correct?
It's more of the same. Yeah.
It's more of the same.
But I'm playing the victim there.
Oh, okay.
So it's a good thing for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm playing the victim of a nightmare,
Mm-hmm.
and who is going on during the whole movie. And yeah, I'm not playing anything weird in that character. It's just a business guy with family, and he's a foreign too.
Okay,
Because I always play foreigns, and I get it. I got an accent. So yeah, it was a funny film to shoot. And the other one, City of Angels. City of Angels is a movie where a French director did it, and he's a good friend of mine. He's a very good director as well. And it's a story about Hollywood. It's about how actors act in Hollywood, like when they are not acting in a movie, how they behave in their day. And it's like the, like, I don't know how to say it, like the reality of what is really going on here in Hollywood, because we all see the beautiful of the movies, we all see the stars and all that, but this movie is more about the darkest place of Hollywood. And yeah, I was playing the boyfriend of a girl who was being bullied, and I love my character also. He was a hero, and he helped her to understand that maybe her dreams are gonna end up with her life. So it's kind of, yeah, he kind of opened her eyes.
Okay. Well, it seems like a lot of your roles kind of focus on relationships, which is great. But you just mentioned about Hollywood, so let's talk about one of your other projects that you did called Hollyweird.
Yeah.
One of the web series.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit about it. Like, why is it your favorite?
That's my favorite. That's a comedy, but it's tragic comedy, which means it's like, it's funny what happens to the characters, but it's not funny for the characters. So they are also actors that came from foreign countries, and I'm playing the landlord of the apartment that they rent, and I'm the villain. I'm the bad character there, but it's very funny, my character, because I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the story.
Yeah, please.
So the 2 actors whose name are Carolina Osorio and Adam Elmanoui, and Carolina comes from Venezuela and Adam comes from France, and they both rent a place and they are trying to fight for their dream, which is acting. But we have 2 opposite characters, where Caroline, she doesn't know how to act, but she wanna be the best actress, and she believes that she's the best. And then there is Adam, who is a great actor, but he's very humble and he's very insecure. So we have these 2 versions of actors, where you can see a very talented actor who is very insecure, and a very I don't know how to describe it. Okay. And that happens a lot here. So I think it's funny, and they fight for their dream. And the web series, It's a web series. It's about how they fight every day to get money to pay their studies of acting and to get auditions and castings. It's comedy. It's a comedy web series, but at the end it's very dramatic because it's a reality is happening,
Yeah.
and none of them get anything they want. They just keep. And I'm playing the landlord. My character is, I think, is very funny. I don't like to see my own projects,
Okay.
but in that concrete web series, I enjoy a lot to watching it because I think all the performance of all of us are incredible. Yeah, so my character is very complex because he's like he's racist and he's also homophobic and he's all the bad things that you can find out there. But at the same time, he's a human being, and he have emotions. And it's funny because at the end you realize that he's homosexual himself, and he in one of the episodes he make out with a transgender. And he's racist, but his best friend is a color guy, and a lot of more things that makes you not understand, but like kind of feel like he's a human being, like
Yeah,
he's
so
a
he's
complex human being. Like he have insecurities, and he tried to hide his insecurities with the opposite. He doesn't want to anybody to find out that he's homosexual, so he's homophobic. But that make him funny and also pathetic, because my character is sad to say, but he's very pathetic.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned about trying to hide things from the back, and I feel like sometimes people see Hollywood kind of like that. That's why like they say Hollywood's fake. But I think, you know, what you mentioned, it really paints a character to the people who try to get in the industry. And in the same vein, I feel like, you know, you've been in the industry now for a little over 2 years now. What would you say is maybe the most difficult thing that you've had to face, you know, trying to build your career up so far in the last 2.5 years or so?
Well, I've been doing things in Spain too, but it was different things, one more theater.
Yeah.
But here, your question is about me hiding things? Or
No, like
how Hollywood?
What has been the most difficult so far, trying to get into Hollywood films and acting, as
Got
opposed to like in Spain?
Okay, it's a simple answer. It's people.
Well, okay.
I think people are very competitive here. They are just interested in their own success. So what happened here is, I didn't know that, and when I first came here, I tried to became very friendly, and I figured out that doesn't work here. Like you need to be friendly, but you need to be fake friendly. What means it's sad to say, okay, but it's very hard to have really truly friends here in Hollywood. For example, I have a friend, okay, and we do a lot of projects together, but I kind of confused that friendship, and I felt she was my truly friend. So I start asking her to help me in things, and I noticed that she always wanted a trade. Like if she helping me, she wanted me to do something for her. And the two first times I was okay with that, but the third time I was like, okay, you know what? I was tired, so I asked her to keep it like professionally, because that confused me a lot.
Would you say that that's a very cultural difference between Spain and America?
Yeah, in Spain, I think in Europe in general, I think people are more like they are rude too, okay, but they are more honest. They are more like, if they don't like you, they tell you in the face, like, hey, I don't like you. And you are like, okay, go on. but here is like, oh, honey, oh, okay. And then in the back, you are like, this guy is like so. So, yeah, it happens too in Europe, but not that frequently like here.
Okay. Let's talk about the different things that you've been doing. You mentioned that in Spain you were doing theater as well.
Yeah.
I know you've been doing commercials, you've done web series, films, and theater. What is your favorite type of entertainment that you've been able to do so far? What have you enjoyed the most?
I think since I start with that, since the beginning, I think I love theater. And that's another thing. I don't want to be an actor because of the fame. Actually, I'm afraid of that. Because that can end up my career. And I don't like that. But I really enjoy, I really feel passion when I'm acting, especially in the theater, where you can see actually the people who is looking at you is in front of you, so you can see what their emotions are. In a film, you cannot see that because you need to wait until the movie is released and you are not performing anymore. You are in the other side. So it's different. And I really enjoy that. And I remember in one play, my mom was crying in the first seats of the theater. And that was the best time of my life.
That's great.
Yeah.
It sounds wonderful that you're able to. I know earlier you mentioned that your mom wasn't so sure about you going into acting,
Right,
but
that's why.
to be able to, yeah.
She was crying, so I was about to stop the play and say, "Look, you're crying."
That's great. I'm glad you're able to change your mind. That's awesome. That's really great. Let's talk about your childhood just a little bit more since we're going back that way.
Okay.
You grew up in Alicante, Spain, is that correct? How would you say that helped influence the type of characters you bring out when you do your films? Like, is there a certain character or way you want to portray yourself in certain films and entertainment that you create?
Well, I think Alicante helps me to. I hope nobody in Alicante get offended. Alicante helped me to build a very gypsy character.
Okay.
I was surrounded by gypsies, and they are great people. Some of them, like everybody. But I also learned a lot how to take care of myself and how to get away from trouble and in Alicante, and because I got very conflictive friends in there, and that helped me to build a type of character that I'm using today.
That's great.
Yeah, and Alicante, I think I love Alicante. It's a very quiet place with a beach that makes you think a lot about you, like knowing yourself better. Yeah, but I decided to move forward because in Alicante there is not too much going on about theater and film. So I went to Madrid, where I born.
Oh, okay.
Where I was born, yeah.
Nice. Was it going to Madrid like a huge change for you, coming from your hometown, or was it kind of like just a little bit bigger, a little bit louder?
Not really, because I was born there. I was there for 7 years, and it was like, and my sister was there. I mean, when we moved to Alicante, my sister stayed in Madrid. So I went back to Madrid. I was there before, like, a lot of times. So it was like being in a different place and not that hard. Hardest one was when I came to United States with no friends, no money and everything. That was hard. Madrid was like...
Was the language barrier difficult for you when you first arrived?
Was very frustrating. I didn't know how to speak English when I first arrived. I was like communicate by signals with the people, and it was very funny. and people laugh at me. I felt that very mean at first, but then I understood that I was foreign, so they need to understand that my first language is not English. So yeah, and also helped me a lot came here helped me a lot to realize how the people in Spain feel, that they are not from Spain, how they feel about being in Spain. Now I understand the foreign culture and all that, and I love that.
That's great. So you touched about being a foreigner in America and understandably from Spain, coming out here with very little to start your dreams off. But how would you say culturally it's different? Because here in LA we have a very large Hispanic and Latin community, but not necessarily a lot of people from Spain. So how is that different for you?
So it was very different for me. I didn't know until I got here that here in America they don't really notice the difference between Spaniards and Mexicans, and it was surprisingly for me at first. I didn't get it, and I started going to castings, and they start asking me to speak in Spanish with neutral accent, and I'm laughing because their neutral accent is not my neutral accent. Like their neutral accent for me is a very hard accent. So they were like, I'm gonna make examples if you allow me to.
Please.
I was in the casting and they were like, can you say this in Spanish? And I was like, sí, puedo decir esto en español. And they asked me like, okay, but can you say it with neutral accent? And I was like, okay, puedo decir esto en español. And they were like, no, neutral accent is like, puedo decir esto en español. And I was like, but that's an accent. That's from Mexico. That's not neutral. And they got offended. So from the first and second experience, I learned that I need to be careful when I say I'm not from Mexico, because they can be offended when you say I'm not a Mexican. It's like, what happened? Hey, okay, you are not a Mexican, okay? Like, they get offended. So you need to be like careful about that. You need to say, I could be a Mexican, but I'm not a Mexican. I'm from Spain, and it's in Europe, if you don't know where it is, because a lot of people, they don't know where is Spain. I was talking with a lady 2 weeks ago, and I said, I'm from Spain, and she was, I've been a couple of times in Mexico. And I was, okay, have you been in Spain? So yeah, I hope that doesn't happen to a lot of people, because I will be afraid. But yeah, and they don't really notice the difference. And I hope to get work in Telemundo or something. I have an upcoming TV show, but I hope to get more work there. But they don't offer me a lot of work in Telemundo because of my accent. They want me to have a neutral, what they call neutral accent, and I'm working on that. But you know, I'm good with the English with my accent. And
do you think that if you were given an opportunity to work with networks like Telemundo or Univision, that you're able to maybe get more awareness out for your Spanish heritage, and that there are differences in Latin and Hispanic America?
Yeah, the thing is that if I will get offered a big role in Telemundo, something Spanish from South America, yeah, I will put a lot of effort in losing my Spanish from Spain accent. But since the things I get offered, they were not that big, I'm not like that motivated to lose my accent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm working on that right now. I'm doing my best. I have a lot of Mexican friends that they are helping me with my accent. I love them so much because of that. And I will get there someday, I'm sure. I mean, I've been here just for 2 years. 2 years is nothing.
Yeah.
It's 2 years. So we will see where I can be in 10 years, 7 years from now.
Would you like to create more representation for those who are of, how would I say it, like, of Hispanic background? So, you know, Spain, Portugal, but also, as you mentioned, South America, so that maybe not soon, but hopefully in the future, that there is better representation of those who come from different areas outside of Mexico.
Yeah, that's the thing. Here there is a prototype about So I'm gonna talk about South America, because in Spain they have also a prototype, but the prototype about South America is heavier here. They think all the people from South America, they are like dark skin. They are like kind of small. And that's not true. There are blonde guys, there are blonde girls there with green eyes, blue eyes. I got green eyes. I was more blonde when I was younger, and I'm getting darker. But yeah, and I don't look from Spain, and I'm from Spain, and they don't. I think in the theater, sorry, in the film, they have a prototype about the Latin community, and I think I would love to break that prototype. Like, there is not just dark skinned people who work in kitchens. They are a lot more, and I want to demonstrate that. And I love to be different because of that fact. But it's very challenging for me to get a role as a Latin.
Well, I hope you're successful with that. I know it's, like you said, it's a difficult way to do it, but I hope you're successful with it.
It's a goal.
Let's talk a little bit about your other skills. I know that you direct as well, and I heard a quote, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and you said that directing for you is, or I'll quote it directly, directing for me is for me to create the stories that I want to share, while acting for me is being able to show the stories I want to share. If that's the case for you, directing and acting, like, if you were given an opportunity to create your own film without a budget, what kind of story would you like to share with audiences?
Without a budget?
I'm saying like, think big.
No, it's funny you say that, because 1 week ago I was shooting by myself in my apartment a documentary. I love animals. Okay, I'm very active about that. There is a lot of abuse with animals, and I don't like that. So I try to do my best, and I didn't have a budget, so I'm a cow. I have a big parrot. It's like this big.
That's a big parrot.
Yeah, in my apartment. So I decided to do a documentary from the point of view of the bear inside a cage. So it actually has to do with the title of my last movie, Bear in a Cage, but it doesn't have nothing to do. So the whole movie is from the point of view of the bear out to the outside, so from inside the cage. And I love to share that movie. I already released it like 2 days ago on YouTube, and it got a lot already, 100,000 views, that video. So it's a documentary about the feeling of a bear. About there is hundreds of birds in cages that they live all their life in cages, and they live in the same place. They poo and eat, and it's very sad. So people don't understand that. Don't understand these animals are very smart. So it's an example of what I would love to do with my directing. I like to share emotions. To send messages out there, and I'm gonna start doing also I'm writing a feature film about this Latin prototype.
That's great. You actually kind of touched into the next question I want to ask you, which was, what are some things we should expect from you, or things you are working on for 2018?
This is one of them. I'm writing a script, but it's a big script. There is one more TV show is coming up. I don't know when. It's The Coroner. It's a crime recreation show. And I got offered 3 movies, but I still like looking at the scripts and all that. I'm working a lot in my own projects, and that looks like it's working.
All right, that sounds exciting. That sounds like you have a very busy year coming forward. Let's finish it up with one last question, and I want to touch back to the roots for you. And it's a simple one. It's real simple. I just want to ask you, if you could tell the audience, like, if there's something that they should know about Spain, like one thing that everyone should know about Spain, like, what would you like them to know about?
Don't go to Barcelona.
Don't go to Barcelona.
Okay. No, no, there is so much more about Spain, and they think Spain is everything in Barcelona. In Barcelona, it doesn't look like Spain. They should know that they need to go to the south, where is the actual roots of Spain, and there is so much to discover there. The food, the culture, the not all the culture, because I don't like the balls.
Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, the food is delicious and the people are friendly in the south. In Barcelona, not that much. Sorry, but it's true. And yeah, so they should know that don't go to the typical places, because everybody goes there. I'm from Spain, and that's not the best.
So go
Trust
explore.
me, it's not the best. Go to Sevilla, go to Granada, don't go to Alicante because it's boring, but go to Valencia, go to Madrid. Madrid is nice, it's very nice. It's very, very nice.
All right, well, thank you so much for letting us know about this, and we look forward to all your future projects.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure for me.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Robert Milar. Thank you very much for the TNE magazine to have me here today. You can find me on Instagram. I'm Hollyweird official because I love that TV show. So. And you can find me on Facebook. I'm Robert Milar Jimenez, but you can put Robert Milar, and I think I will come up. And I have a webpage which is robertmilar.com, and you can find me there.
And that's our show today. Thank you so much for watching Side Reels with Sam B. I want to thank our guest, Robert Milar, for dropping over. Make sure you check him out with a few projects coming out in 2018. Also, if you would like a discount for our subscription to the magazine, you can use our promo code SAMB to get a 30% discount. All right, have a wonderful week, and thank you so much.